to Lecture 6 in Hebrew 103. Tonight we're going to talk a little bit about verbs, a little bit more about verbs, and the simple type of a verb, which is the kal verb, which you've heard me talk about a number of times over the past several months. And they're primarily made up of 3 consonants. And tonight more specifically, what we're going to do is we're going to learn about the active participle, which then allows us to have a present tense. Because in Hebrew, we usually look at things as complete action or incomplete action, which is similar to, the past tense and the future tense, but there's reasons to kind of categorize it as complete action and incomplete action rather than past and present. You'll learn more about that later. I know it's a little bit confusing, so what we do to start with is everybody's just saying we're talking about past and we're tense, or we're talking about future tense. But now we're going to talk about a way now to have in the Hebrew language a present tense, okay? And being similar in some respects to our participle that ends like in an ing, but it's going to be a little bit different. It's the active participle. And so tonight, to start off with, I just want to we're going to start to build that. We're going to start here just talking about some more vocabulary words that you're going to use over and over again. And the point of me bringing these vocabulary words out and spending a little bit more time with them than the exercises is because I want to help you with your pronunciation. So when you're getting vocabulary, you're getting a pronunciation, and so you're able to go back with this YouTube, and you're able to just kind of, play it and stop it and play it and stop it. And the more you do that, the more you're going to get to the place where you really don't need to play and stop, where you're starting to really get the feel of it, and you'll be able to pronounce as good, probably better than I do. So these vocabulary words are very important. The first one used over and over again, achal, okay? Achal. If you still need to be doing transliteration, then keep on doing it. And, I don't want to go through those exercises. I just want to simply give you the pronunciation. Achal. Achal. To eat. The next one is to learn. Lamad. Breaking it down once again. La-mad. Right? Because that's one complete syllable. A consonant, vowel, consonant. La-mad. I hope everybody understands how that works now. You should be able to understand how that works with a consonant, vowel, consonant being the syllable at the end of the word. Okay, another important word used over and over again to write, katav. 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 Another word, once again, all these words are used so many times. You want to get this to, commit these to memory. It's to say, amar. 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 A little roll with the R's help. Amar. Okay? So to start off with it simple, amar. And then get amar, and then get your roll in there. Amar. Okay? To say. Then to give birth, very important word used in so many different ways, as I'll show you here in a minute. Yalad. 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 Next word, once again, over and again used, yashav. 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 Okay? Another word, important word, to finish, gamar. Gamar. Then gamar. Now put your little roll on there, gamar. Okay? Just a little bit of roll for the R, gamar. Okay? To finish. To give, used over and over again. Natan. 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 To guard, to keep. All these words are so common. Believe me, you want to get these down. And you'll start to see redundancies too, right? So that kind of helps. Where you just add in just a few extra new words as you go along. Okay? mar. Shamar. 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 Okay? To walk. Halach. 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 Get a little bit more guttural at it when you get it right. Start off with just a CHK sound. Halach. Halach. Then halach. And go halach. Get a little more guttural in there. Okay? This one sounds like something that people smoke. Cigar. Cigar. And then you go cigar, and then get your roll in there. Cigar. Okay? Cigar. To stand, amad. 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 Now, one of the things that's going to trip you up sometimes is when you get words that are really close to similar, like amad and lamad. Okay? Okay. And fortunately, and then also when you start writing vowels, amad, because you're getting your phonetics, but you're going, oh no, is that an ayin, right? Or is that an aleph? You know, like Sodom and Gomorrah. Gomorrah, how strong Gomorrah is. That is actually the translation from an ayin. Ayin actually is a guttural. It has an ancient h sound, h, but it's not used anymore. And so it's silent. So it would be something like hamad. So if you actually translated Gomorrah, it'd be more like Amora. Okay? But it's a little different than that. I'm just giving you something to relate to in English. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to get this active participle. Okay? And hopefully I can make this really easy for you, because all you need to remember to do with this active participle is you just simply need to remember two things. Really two things. One is that you're going to put in this Holam Vav, and right by it you're going to put in a sere. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your root word, and we'll just take like this one, this first one, okay? Achal, right? Achal. And we're going to just get rid of the vowels. We're going to forget about the vowels. And we're going to go ahead and just write it without the vowels. Then we're going to move these over into place, just like this. And we've got the active participle. Okay? So we've gone from achal, to eat, to ochel, ochel, eating. Ani achal, okay, ani achal, I ate. Huh? Ani achal, I ate. Right? Ani, and then we go, ani ochel, I'm eating. Right? So it's just, that's the way we get in our present tense in here. Okay? Yeah. So that's what we're going to do with every word here as we go along. That's really all this lecture is about, is just learning how to do the active participle. And the best way you learn how to do the active participle is from, is from just starting with your verb. And then, once again, all of these, you'll see them. All it is Holam Vav, Sere. Erase the vowels, forget the vowels, write it out as I just did. Or you could just always just write it out, just making sure that you put that Holam Vav as the second character. You add a sere. So there's a couple of ways to do it. I just want you to picture that. That's the only change here to the word. You erase the vowels, add a Holam Vav sere. Right together. And so let's look at it. And then I'm going to say them for you. Ochel, 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 eating. Lomed, lomed. All of these are seres. You probably can't see them. I can't see them. I just know they're all seres. Okay? Lomed, lomed, learning. Ani lomed. I'm learning. Ani lomed ivrit. I'm learning Hebrew. And then you could just start making your little sentences. Start there. You start getting creative. Because you learn ani. At. Huh? At lomed. Say, just turn it to a question. At lomed. For a girl. Ata lomed. For a man. Are you learning? Ata lomed ivrit. At lomed ivrit. So just take all these words and don't just use, don't just use the exercises where we're transliterating from, or when we're translating from Hebrew to English or English to Hebrew. Start building your own little words and your own little vocabulary, because the more you use it and the more you try to speak to one another like this from a biblical Hebrew perspective, Anokni Lomed, you're going to learn that one. So, we're all learning, or are you? See, yeah. I should have said Chol Anachnu. All of us are learning. Okay, so I don't want to confuse you. I'm just trying to help you to be creative with what you're learning. Okay. Kotev. Okay. Kotev. Just go Ani Kotev. I'm learning. Or I'm writing. Ani Kotev. Okay. Ish Kotev. The man is writing. Okay. Isha. Oh, well, I'll hold up on the feminine. Okay, so, and the plural. We're getting ready to go over those. So, Omer saying. Oshev. Pretty easy, huh? Same basic. Yoshev. Ani Yoshev. I'm sitting, not really, but finishing. Gomer. Gomer. So look at it. O, lo, ko, o, yo, go, no, ho, so, o. That's all. It's what we're adding in the terms of the sound for the participle. So just you want to be able to hear that. The more you can hear that, the more you'd be able to write it. If you were thinking of it just from hearing and now being a scribe, because we don't learn how to write it as well, right? Noten from Natan, noten. Holech from halach. Halach, holech. Okay. Sagar to soger. Sagar to soger. Omed from amad, omed. Standing. Okay, the participles may be written without, and you're going to see this over and again in the Hebrew. What we're going to do is, next year we're going to get into just reading, and we're going to read it. But first of all, we're going to get into reading the Bible, following the same Menachem's Step-by-Step Hebrew, Volume 2, and he's going to guide us through looking at these various different linguistic rules and the various different linguistic forms of Hebrew as we're reading, and then we're going to advance ultimately to where we're just taking 3, 4, 5 verses of Scripture. We're going to read it and we're going to analyze it. We're going to say, okay, what's going on here? We're going to identify the various different forms of the word, and out of that, we're going to take what we've learned here. We're going to use it and we're going to remember it and we're going to get good at it. So that's where we're going. So make sure you're learning this. But one of the things that you're going to find over and again is you're going to see that active participle without the vav. But it's going to sound exactly the same, right? You don't hear the vav, do you? You only hear the holum anyways, right? It's like, why did they do that? So, I don't have an answer for that one. But here you can see, for halak, we've got holech, and we've got it without the vav, just the holam. See that right there? And it sounds the same, holech. It's just an abbreviated form, and you see that a lot in the scriptures. So you just learn to recognize it. Once again, one of the most important things in your vocabulary, and the reason it's going to become apparent, more and more apparent now as we're turning a corner. Believe me, here in Munster, we're turning a corner, and we're going to build out these 3-letter consonants. And the most important thing is just being able to identify what was the root. And we're going to learn rules to identify what is the 3-consonant root, especially when there's one of the consonants missing. Okay? And that's really the trick here. And so holach, you'd see that and you'd go, wow, that looks familiar. Yeah, it's halak. It's hey, lamed, ha. Then same thing with notin. You see there it is. The vav is lost. Okay, the participles agree with nouns and pronouns associated with them. They may precede or follow the subject. That makes it easy, right? So it doesn't matter how you write it, it's going to be the same. Roll this up for me, please. Okay? So you look here, you go holech ha'ish or ha'ish holech. The same. The man is walking. Okay? Ani holech. I am walking. Right? So, here we go. Kotev habin or habin kotev. Son is writing. This is the important word, and we're gonna look at it here just a little bit here in just a few minutes. You can understand a little bit more about how this is formed as well. Hayeladim lomedim. Hayeladim lomedim. Or Hayeladim lomedim. Either way. So it's either Hayeladim lomedim or lomedim Hayeladim. Okay. Same thing here, just emphasizing the point. Ochelot, Hanashim, the plural for women, right? Because we're gonna keep plurals the same, right? We're gonna make everything equal in terms singular, plural. Or Hanashim Ochelot. Ochelot. We should slow down. Hanashim Ochelot. Forgive me. Ochelot. Hanashim Ochelot. Forgive me. Ochelot Hanashim or Hanashim Ochelot. And see, the schwa, that stops our syllable, right? So it's not Ochelot, because it's not, the syllable's not sounded. I mean, that schwa is not a sound. It's silent and it's a stop. Ochelot. 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 Next. Okay. So now we're going to deal with the plural and the singular. Don't be alarmed. This is pretty easy. All you got to do really here is just remember, and you've already learned it once, for the feminine, it ends in, if it doesn't end in a pate, in a gametz hey, it ends in a tav, right? And so what we're doing here is we're going to do something very similar. And I don't have an eraser up here. Oh yeah, I do. Going to do something very similar for this. Show you. So we start off, and because I think the first one is lamad, yeah. So we'll start off with that one. Okay. Don't worry about the vowels. Okay. So what we're going to do is, we know to begin with, we're going to have our holam vav. And so what we can do now is, to get all these down, we can just go ahead and repeat this theme. And we can just go ahead and write them all out with just what we've already learned. Okay? Go right across through here. Just spelling the exact same thing. See what I'm doing? Then what we'll do is we'll just come in here. We'll add the tav. And now it's feminine, singular. Masculine, singular. Feminine, singular. And then we've already learned the masculine plural and the feminine plural. Huh? Holam Vav Tav for the feminine. Herek Yod Mim. So all I got to do is just come over here, if I had room, of course. And all I've got to do is just add the Herek Yod Mim. So I just want to try to make it simple. So in terms of memorizing the thing, that's really all we need to do, is we just come in here. Once again, let me just try to do this one more time. We put in what we already know. It's real easy, right? And I'm going to go down this way so I don't run out of room. Just keep spelling the same thing over and again. Okay, see that? Now we just put in our sere. Right? Now we just make our forms. Right? And the forms are going to be pretty easy. Watch this. We're going to take this, we're going to add, it's going to be that way every time. We're going to put in the seguls. Okay? Here we're going to make this one masculine. Herek Yod Mim. And this we're just simply going to add our Holam Vav Tav. I want you to just learn how to do that. Just do it that way. Make it as simple as possible. Do it that way to start with. And it'll help you work through all of the various different verbs which are in the exercises. And it should be simple enough to be able to come back to it. Hopefully you're going to be able to have enough time between now and next year, when we start in September, to be able to finish out at least to chapter 30. Okay? And then I think more important than anything else is just go ahead and review once again chapters 6 through 20. Because you're going to be getting maybe chapter 6 through 22 if you can. You're going to be getting really the foundation of the most important things that you need to do to just do well in reading. So does that make sense right there? Okay. So one of the things that I want to show, okay, let's just go over this. And they're just showing it, repetitive, but for Lamad and Katab, okay? So it's Lomed and Lomedit. 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 Kotav, Kotevit. It's always going to have those two shigos. That's your dead giveaway. No matter where you're going to see the two shigos in the tav, you're going to know right where you're at. Really, you're just going to see for by and large, you're just going to see the holam. This is better. The most important part of this is learning how to write properly, because it's easy to recognize. And then it's lomdim. See that? The schwa is a stop. Lomdim. Lom. The schwa is a stop, right? Lomdim. Kotvim. Then lomdot. Kotvot. Should I go through that again? Lomed, lomedet, lom, because of the schwa, okay, dim. And so, if forgive me, I didn't change the vowels for this, but once again, you can see it's pretty simple. All we have to do is create the stop. That's all we got to do. This is really simple, right? Because it's the Hariyot beam, mem, rather. And then it's just to create the stop. Lomdim, kot vim. See that? The stop is just the schwa. So just rehearse it and you'll remember it in terms of putting your vowels in. Lomdim, kot vim. Lomdot, kotvot. Okay. Biblical Hebrew words which are the most important. I think you've learned most of these now, but we'll go through them because we've already gone through one of these already. Achal, achal, or achal, and then go achal, achal. Amar, amar, and then go amar or amar, amar. Okay? Bo, come. Bo. Start using those words if you can. Any of these that you can use, try to do it. Very, very common word used over and again in so many different forms. Daber. Ani daber. Ani dober. I'm going to change it now. I'm going to make it participle. Ani dober ivrit. Ani dober ivrit. I'm speaking Hebrew. Ani dober ivrit. I'm going to try to keep it simple. I had some other ideas running through my head of what I was going to tell you, but I just backed off of it. Then haya, to be. You've seen that word so much. My goodness, that should be the very clear and common and easy to identify word for you. Haya, to be, right? Okay, I put this in here, this paragraph in here, because this is something I want you to get. This is the basis of Hebrew. Look at how it is created. And that's why it said here, this is one of the most important lessons so far. It is of utmost importance that you learn the root of each Hebrew verb you study. Why? Because you've got to identify your three-letter root words to understand what's being said. Master thoroughly the three letters of the roots of each verb. Why? So that you can identify them in the complexity of all the changes that are going to be made so that you can, apply it either to one of the different stems and say what you want to say or understand what's being said. All of the verbs and nouns associated by meaning with this verb will also contain this root. So look at how it's formed. Okay? Here's the root. Yalad. Yod, Lamed, Dalet. Okay? In the cow, it simply means to bring forth. Yalad, to bring forth. But look at what you do with it. You put shagos on it, and now it's boys. Yalid. What's come forth? You're going to have two things come forth, a boy or a girl, right? Huh? So now you just use what you know to do and add your gamet's hey, right? And now you got yalda, girl. So if you can build your vocabulary like this, because you'll see it's sorted out all over the place, and you start now bringing them together, it helps you to remember what the word is. Here's another one. I told you this last week, because that word right there was actually in our scripture verse. Okay? Toldot. See, you can find the three-letter consonant almost there, right? We're missing one letter. We're missing the what? We're missing the yod. It means generations now. When you bring something forth, it's a boy or a girl, and what? You get generations. It's the next generation. Okay, you see that? And so the yod has been assimilated, but then you get other words out of this. Moledet, for our kindred, our kin. So it's all family words. Yaldot, for childhood or youth. And when you begin to see this, you'll begin to see this in the Hebrew language. And it will be an eye-opener to you to be able to understand how to build your vocabulary, or how to recognize three-letter roots, how to build those three-letter roots into other words, nouns, adjectives. Yep. Okay, so this particular part of the exercise, it is extremely important. How much time do I have? Okay, it's just extremely important that you take your time with this, okay? And I'm going to come back to it. So if we have time left, I'll walk you through doing exactly what I did right here. And it's just simply, all you're going to do is take Natan, turn it into Notin, right? And then you're going to go, you're going to take it and go, looking at it, notatit, I'll just do one real quick because I'm not transposing very well. I'm going to forget, once again, I'm going to forget the vowels. I'm not going to worry about the vowels. My brain's working really good tonight. Now here's where it's going to get a little tricky. You can see that, right? Because our final noon is going to have to change into a but right, you know, assuming that you're going to get that right. Notin, okay? Now when you get to here, you're going to have to get rid of the final noon, right? Does that make sense? So I want you to just exercise, do that exercise. Notinit, notinit, notin, notinit. Then for the rest of these, you just get rid. The only big thing about having a final form is that you just got to remember to change the final form. That's it. That's the only trick here. And then with the Hirik Yod Mem, what do you got to remember to do? You got to remember to put the stop. Where do you put the stop? Just past the vowel. So it's not nim. Not nim. Then it's, once again, all you got to do is remember where to put the stop. Make sure that you don't use a final noon, like I almost did. So, not. That's pretty funny, eh? Not. Okay, we'll come back to this. Let's look at this right quickly. So this, all of our vocabulary words ought to be here. We should have this pretty simple. Okay, let's do this. Let's do it together in terms of pronunciation. Ha'ish, I'm going to try to go slow. Ha'ish yoshev, our words that we've just learned. Okay. Tachat, a word that we already know. Ha'itz, a word that we already know. Im, I think everybody knows that one. Hakalev. So, ha'ish yoshev techat ha'etz im hakalev. And so you try to get faster with it. Ha'ish yoshev techat ha'etz im hachaleb. Make sure that you understand, the definite article. Okay? What are we doing here? We're doing masculine, okay? Should be standing out to us right off the bat. Help us identify this word. The man sits or is sitting, right? Because it's pretty much the same, isn't it? It's taking an active participle and making it a present tense. The man sits under, tachat, the tree, and you got him, he's sitting with something, and Chaliv is a dog. Guys, you just have to get the hardest part of that is your memory verse, because you guys should be able to understand all the rules associated with identifying what those root words are. It's, tree. That's all simple, right? Okay, now we see right there, we're looking here and we're going, Lomadet. Already, we know it's feminine already, right? Because we got the tav there. We've just been through this. So we know we're talking about some girls or a girl. And then we come back up here and we've got bat, ben or bat. And that's kind of easy to identify because, once again, if you got ben, son, okay, then all we're going to do is basically put a tav, which identifies feminine. Now we got bat. So it's gone habat lomadet min hasefer. The daughter learns from the hasefer. Wonder what the hasefer is. And you learned your vocabulary book, sefer. Okay? The daughter, habat, learns from the book. Okay? Got that? And of course, the megaf there with men, we know later on you're going to get to conjugate those. And it's gonna get simpler. So we're going to get rid of the noon and we can get rid of the noon, we get rid of the megaf, and we can get rid of the definite article, the hey there. And we can make it misefer. But that's later. Okay? Look at that. Holechet. Okay? Right off the bat. Holechet. We're talking about something feminine, right? First thing to do, get the clues. Holechet. Holechet. Holechet ha'isha min habayit el hasadeh. I go slower. Holechet ha'isha min habayit el hasadeh. Okay? Holechet ha'isha. Let's just get that part. Holechet ha'isha. What is the root? Halach. Okay? It's the women doing. It's a woman doing it. So it's feminine singular. So a woman or the woman is walking. Okay? Good. Okay? So I already know bayit, that's house. So and I know what min is from. So the woman is walking from the house to something. And because I did all of my vocab, I know she's going to the field. Okay? She's going to the Sadeh. Okay? Once again, when you have the scene with a samek and you're trying to spell, like, oh no, that's where you just got to memorize it. You just got to memorize it because you're not going to get it phonetically. If I was writing that and you were having to do a spelling bee and I said, Sadeh. Well, you might go with a samek instead of a sheen, right? A scene. Okay. Yoshavim. I know it's min. Yod Herek Mim. I know it's plural. So okay. I got the first part of it. What on earth, though, is that root? And that's what you got to get. Well, you've learned how to put this together, so it's just shav. You've learned how to recognize the three-letter root, even though it got split by a hole and bob. See, you're getting somewhere. You want to remember to recognize that. That's the clue. next it's the plural. Okay, now that I recognize the three-letter root. So it's Yoshavim Hana, forgive me, Han Va'im, Han V'im, Han Va'im. What on earth is that? That's a tough one. No, it's not. We got to find the root. What's the root? The root is Navi. I got to learn how can I do that? Well, I know that little guy right there, that's got to be a definite article. And I know that Herek Yod Mem is just running interference because that's got to be a plural, right? It's running interference with me understanding what the root is. The root has got to be Navi. The root has got to be Nun, Bet, Yud, of some form. And Aleph, Navi. Okay? So, Yoshev, Hanaviim. Okay? Hanaviim. So you got to go slow. Han, Vi'im. There's the stop. Han, Vi'im. This one may be Hanaviim. Hanaviim. Instead of stopping. Some of them don't stop. Sometimes when you especially have a dagesh in the letter. Hanavim. Yoshavim hanavim el ha'itz. Well, somebody's sitting. But it's more than one somebody. Because it's plural. So there's somebodies. So these are two plurals. The prophets are sitting under the tree. And so if you're looking at the answer key, I should have got it right. I mean, my goodness, if I missed that, you can come up here and slap me. Okay, go quickly to this, and let me just, let's look at this. Okay, so here's your references, Exodus 3:1, Exodus 28, Genesis 1:31. And let's read this. They're missing the holam. It's because this should be Moshe. They're missing the holam. Moshe is Moses. Moshe. Moshe. The shurak there is a way to say and or but. Moshe haya roe et zon. Zaon. See? Et zon. Definite, direct object. So whatever Moshe is doing, it's about that right there. You with me? So Moshe is doing a roeh. He's a roeh as a shepherding. He's feeding. Shepherding is to feed. So Moses was feeding. Haya was, right? Because that's its simple cal form, right? Moses was feeding the zon, sheep. So let's look at this. Yet ro. And some people in antiquity would pronounce the tav the. So yeth, ro, Jethro, yet. We say yet, not the. We say yet, not yet. We say yet, but the Bible translated it yet. More like Ashkenazi pronouncing. Yetro, Jethro. So Moses was shepherding or feeding the sheep of Jethro. And you wouldn't know these. You're just supposed to learn this, to how to pronounce them and do it quick. And that would be Kotno, Kohin. First time that Kohin is seen, I think. No, maybe not. Kohin is priest. Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. Okay? You know this one down here. Vayivoker Yom Ashishi. At least you knew the first part of it, right? Vayihi Erev Vayivoker Yom. You know that. And then Hashishi is the 6th. Okay? And it was the evening and it was the morning of the 6th day. Okay? Zakor, to remember. Zakor et Yom Hashavat le Kadsho. Okay, Kadosh is the root of it. Remember to, and you've already learned sakar, I think. Remember? Sakor, remembering to keep the day, the seventh day. Okay? A direct object. So remembering, this is what we're remembering. The seventh day, to keep it holy. Okay? There's the masculine, third person, but we're not going to do his. To keep his holy, we're not going to do his. We're going to do it. That's kind of not fair, is it? Because it's supposed to be masculine or feminine, right? No, it's. To keep his holy. But we understand if everybody's going to understand that, we're going to have to put it in there. Okay? I know I didn't spend enough, I'm out of time, I know I didn't spend enough time with the pronunciation, but just keep working at it. And I know these are hard. These are some hard. We're getting a little bit harder each time. Especially when you got to try to pronounce a word like kot no. Just break it down. Kot. That's a stop. Schwa is a stop. No. Kot no. Kot. Make it hard. No. Love you. See you next time.